Hey, how's it going? Dave 2D here. So today's video is not about phones or laptops or any devices really. It's about the customer support that comes after you purchased one of these devices. And the reason why this video exists is one of my friends purchased a OnePlus. She had a little bit of a difficulty returning it because she didn't love it. And I looked into the return policies and realized there's a lot of differences between the different companies. So I thought I'd make something to share with you guys. So right off the bat, all of these phones, we're gonna do phones first, laptops later, but all of these phones have a 14-day return policy. And it would seem normal, like everyone's got that 14-day return policy, some of them 15-day. But if you look at the fine print, there are some differences. OnePlus has this sliding scale where they kind of reserve the right to give you less money back depending on how used or unused the product is. So if you've kind of opened it and opened the accessories and stuff, you could potentially get less money back despite it being in the return period still, which is a bit of a bummer. Now I've read and heard that a lot of people are still able to get that full 100% value back despite it being open, but it's not as good as the Apple phone, which basically gives you 14 days to return it regardless of how used or opened or whatever your package is. As long as it's within that return period, you seemingly can return it. Now Samsung also indicates on their website that they only accept returns for defective or unopened boxes. For a brand like Samsung that has like very expensive flagship phones, that's kind of surprising, kind of disappointing, but that's just what you have. The Pixel devices from Google, when these first launched, they had a great return policy, but because of last year's Pixel 2 XL and because of the blue shift and all those people trying to return the devices, trying to get like a better screen, they now have a $35 restocking fee, which is, I find that annoying and mildly offensive, to be honest, because if you just straight up didn't like the device because you wasn't a good fit for you, you now have to pay $35 to return it, that's a bummer. But that's it. That's basically the return policies. That's what you have. Now, in terms of warranty repairs, they're all relatively painless. I mean, some of them you have to jump through a few more hoops to get it done, but they're all going to get repairs done during that 12-month warranty. Apple does it through their stores. It's pretty painless. The Samsung devices and the Pixel devices actually use a third-party vendor, if you want to call it that. It's called UBreak iFix. It's a chain that's all over North America. You go into the website, make an appointment, and as long as your product is under warranty, you can get it repaired in the store, which is pretty cool. I'm also surprised that Samsung is doing this because it's, again, a huge vendor. It's weird that they just don't have their own kind of like logistics and system set up to just fix these devices exclusively, but at least they have something in place. Now, the weird one here is OnePlus. So they have a service where you basically mail the device out, but it doesn't go to OnePlus. And depending on where you are, it might go to OnePlus. But in the US, a lot of locations are sending it to Acer, where they are the authorized repair centers. It's strange to me, but I guess that kind of is representative of the prices of these phones. Like if you think about the most expensive one, the iPhone 10, consequently has the best customer service, both in terms of returns and warranty repairs, but that's baked into the price of the phone. That's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. The one that surprises me though is Samsung. This is a super expensive phone. It basically rivals the price of the Apple devices, but it doesn't have quite the same kind of forgiving nature in terms of like the warranty repairs and stuff like that as the Apple phone. So I don't know. It's expensive, but I just thought they would have better customer support considering the price of this phone. Okay, moving on to laptops. So the way that I did this is I have a bunch of laptops and I basically contacted these companies with fake repair requests. I told the customer service rep that my computer wasn't booting up and I would need some kind of service. And all of these devices are under warranty. These are all under 12 months old, but they all work. It's just told the person that they don't work, just to kind of see how the customer experience would be. And for each one of these brands, I was able to get it to that end stage where they were like, hey, send it back, we'll take care of it because your product is under warranty. But they all took different lengths of time. I mean, some of them were quick, some of them were slow. You can check out the chart. But the big thing is that some companies did not give me shipping labels. Like they expected me to figure out how to send it back to them on my own dime. And because I live in Canada, that process would be a lot more difficult. Like some of them had to go to the States, and that's really annoying for a consumer. Like if you're not in the business of shipping packages all day long, that process of the customs paperwork, the commercial invoices and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff that goes into shipping one of these packages out to the company that the user should not have to deal with. That's a real big negative to me. So the winners here are Apple and Dell. They both had really fast support to get to where it wanted to be, and they both provided shipping labels and all that stuff. Dell actually has like this next day service depending on the product where they'll actually fix the device in your office, which is great. And Microsoft is also good. It took a longer conversation, but they dealt with the issue and the return policy is pretty good. The losers, like the brands that I feel like are the worst with this kind of stuff, are Razer, Gigabyte, and MSI. And these are brands that make great devices, like really good laptops, especially in 2018, but their customer support is still lacking, especially when it comes to the shipping devices back. For me to ship something out to Razer, like if I purchase like a Razer Blade Pro, to ship that huge box back to Razer would be like, I don't know, 150 bucks. It's not cheap. So that shipping cost is something that I think every brand should cover. It doesn't matter what the product is. Now the rest of the brands are in the middle of the pack and they all pay for shipping to get back to the manufacturers or to the repair centers. So that's basically it for the laptops. Now the overall story is this. I was always under the assumption that basically the more expensive a product is, the better the customer support is. And that's somewhat true. I mean, there are some really expensive brands both in phones and laptops that just don't have great customer support, particularly Samsung and Razer. Like those are premium brands with premium prices, but their customer support is not where I'd like it to be in 2018. The thing is, customer support is not enjoyable for anybody, not for the brands, not for the consumer. For us, like this process is the worst. When our devices break and we need to get it fixed, like it's just like, oh no, I got to do this now. But for companies, they really don't like this. They're basically doing whatever they can to minimize how much money they're spending on this whole process of repairing and replacing devices for you. So that battle, that fight for basically money is the worst. And it's never a good place to be in, but at least now you know which brands dole out a little bit more, which brands just hold back, because that's the nature of this industry. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. See you guys next time.